Hello. Welcome back.
We're back.
We're back with another episode. Today we are going to be talking about sexuality.
It's a big word.
It's a big word and means different things it can mean different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because you might think it's one thing, but actually when you leave it, it's just a whole nother lot of things. Yeah. So we'll be talking about sexuality.
Yeah.
But before we do, I would like to say, so funny what I'm going to now say about my wonder of the week, which was, well, actually, you know what? As I was in the bedroom, I was like, oh, I had a wonder of the week. But then I missed another bigger wonder.
Okay, go.
My sister and my bro got married. What are you telling me?
What?
Come on.
Back.
What a wonder.
That was a beautiful day.
That was a fantastic wonder. That
It was
day
perfect.
was in the middle of, not in the middle of the week, but in a week that had been grey, raining, a bit leave it. And also there's nothing wrong with that. Showers of blessings and all of that. So even if it did, even if it was that, it would have been nice. But the fact that the sun did come out of what seemed blue, out of what seemed like the blue for us, was a really lovely day. And the next day I felt hungover. I didn't have any booze. I hadn't drunk anything. I felt hungover. And it reminded me, my sister said that when I got married, she felt hungover the next day and didn't have nothing to drink as well. So something about being drunk in love.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
The next day was awful though, as well.
Matting.
That probably didn't help the feeling of a hangover. Sorry.
Bro. And everyone woke
Yeah,
up.
it was
wasn't like
miserable.
everyone woke up early. I think everyone woke up at, the time you'd expect to wake up, given that it was a fairly late night. But yeah, that was my wonder of the week-ish,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
over
yeah.
a week or so.
That was a beautiful day.
How about yourself?
Wonder. I don't know. I've recently finished watching Dying for Sex on, well, I watched it on Disney. I don't know what network actually owns it. And they're How Not to Die Alone. And they were both Dying for Sex. And I started listening to the podcast as well. It's kind of linked to the sexuality conversation, I
Yeah.
guess. But she's been, like a real story, she's been diagnosed with cancer. And then in that, but by this point, it's terminal. So she's at stage 4. And then she's just really wanting to explore her sexuality and just experience a lot of things that she just maybe put off or just didn't even think about. And similarly in How Not to Die Alone, which isn't really about sex, but it's about someone who's just not been living according to How Not to Die Alone.
That was a document.
No, Dying for Sex is
Natasha
the thing.
Rothwell.
How Not to Die Alone is Natasha Rothwell, like I guess a sitcom or a comedy series that she's that she wrote and starred in. But yeah, it was interesting because I watched them quite close to each other, and that was that running theme of, I guess, exploring ourselves and being true to ourselves and living for us, because I think a lot of people just don't.
Yeah.
A lot of us, that big S word should, which maybe a lot of us should remove from like our verbiage, because it just doesn't do anyone any good. But it was really interesting.
The sex S word.
The what?
The sex. What S word?
Should.
Oh, should. Sorry. I was like, wait, sorry. Okay, I didn't catch it. Sorry. I was like, sorry, wait, what? Are we talking about sex? Okay.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was, I don't really know if there's a specific wonder, but it was interesting having watched the two of them really close together, and one of them very much being about sex and sexuality, and the other one just being about life and how we express ourselves and not doing the things that we really want to do.
And they
kind of link, yeah.
Come together at some point. I will keep my eyes out for them. Thank you.
Sips tea.
So, sips tea. The S word, the other S word. So it's thinking about sexuality, sexuality. There are a few ways to think about it. Like it could be like sexuality, who you're attracted to, what you like, who you're attracted to, how you identify, sorry. And then there's also just like how you feel.
Yeah.
Which is actually the one that came to mind for me when thinking about this. More about how you feel. And it's actually kind of linked to what we previously spoke about in the last episode about for me, thinking about body image,
Yeah.
thinking about how I see myself in a sexual manner. Obviously, in the last 3 years, I've been pregnant and had kid, and I've either been pregnant, breastfeeding. Yeah, pregnant or breastfeeding. And then before that, I had crazy surgery to remove fibroids.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, um, like it was COVID, so the appointments kept on getting cancelled. So I just had it. So my body image for a while has been a bit off. I'd say about 5 years. I don't know if it's off. Yeah, let's say it hasn't been what it has been, if you see what I
Yeah.
mean. And so I've just got this. I mean, I'm still breastfeeding, so I'm not at the other end of it yet, but I've definitely not been feeling sexy.
Mm.
Not been feeling sexy, not been feeling inclined to have sex. I'm touched out. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's all just, yeah, I'm all over it kind of thing.
But what
Um,
even is sexy though? Like for you, when you say like, oh, I don't even feel like sexy anymore. I get the not wanting to be touched bit. I think that's quite
I don't feel
obvious.
like having sex.
And that's so sexy and sex are like your desire for sex and feeling sexy, are they
Both. Okay, no,
connected?
not they are connected. They're not necessarily the same thing. So I don't feel like having sex, or I haven't felt like having sex, or it's not like that's not true. There'll be moments, but it's not like as maybe previously.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't felt like having sex often. Um, and then also I'm like, I don't like have because of the pregnancy and breastfeeding. Maybe this more than anything actually. Like what do I wear that even makes me feel like, yeah, this looks good kind of thing,
Yeah.
because it's like got to be something I can unbutton, or I can do this, or my belly's growing. This
Mm.
can't fit me. Da 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 kind of thing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's been a bit of an iffy one. Like I know that the next step now, I don't plan to have any more kids. So the next step is to reintroduce myself to my body.
I was
Actually,
gonna say, like,
yeah, go on.
sorry to
No, no.
interrupt, but at least having watched you and my sister in a more intimate way go through pregnancy and then like postpartum, it seems like such an out of body experience.
Matting.
So it's not unsurprising that you're like just not feeling connected to
It's
yourself,
a
and
matting.
like you really, I think, to feel sexy or like the sexuality is really part of being in your body. So if you're
Yes.
not connected to it, then
How
yeah,
do you feel it? Yeah.
that makes so much
It's funny
sense.
though, because actually going back, I remember there was I remember feeling this distinctly. This is before having kids, and this is maybe post surgery. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was post or before, but around that time. And I downloaded this like a kind of workbook. This person online it was like tips of how to make yourself feel sexy. I took selfies.
Hmm.
Um
We were sharing like
did I show you about that?
photos.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were
we were
doing that
sharing.
for
Yeah.
a
Hold on,
period.
this is
Yeah.
so weird. What year was that?
Um, the maybe 2019, because
Okay.
the house were at least my pictures were like the old format of the house.
This is
So
so
2019, maybe 2020 at a push.
okay, good. This is helpful because it's helping us track back also what we were previously talking about a different topic.
Yeah.
Helping us get a chronology
Yeah.
of where we were misaligned. So if in 2019, 2020, I would say if we're sending each other sexy selfies, then we're feeling good about each other.
Yeah.
I would like to think.
Or I thought, yeah, no, yeah. But also I think that was part of the, okay, let's just try something new
Okay.
and like try to kind of
Okay.
reconnect on that way.
Okay.
But
I can't remember.
maybe,
But yeah,
but
maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely in a good space.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was doing those.
Yeah.
I was doing things, and then I guess I stopped. Um I would dance, I would do things to try to feel connected into my body. And it would work.
Mm.
But then you know how things go. Something you just start, you don't necessarily continue. Da,
Yeah,
da, da,
yeah,
da, da.
yeah. They
But I
drop
started thinking
off.
about that again recently, like, oh, yeah, I'd want to get back to taking some sexy selfies and just this is the body I've got, isn't it? So like, yeah,
Definitely.
what else kind of thing.
Cool. So our producers kindly put in the chat, how do you feel your sexuality will change over the next 2 years? And what would you like to explore with yourself?
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, in the next few years, I would on my part, I would have stopped breastfeeding at some point in the next 2 years.
Please.
I always said to myself that I'll get my nipple pierced. Once, and this is before having kids. I was like, I want to get my nipple pierced.
Yeah, you wanted to wait until
I
after
wanted to wait after
breastfeeding.
all of that.
Yeah.
So that could be on the cards. However, I keep hearing long things about it. I don't know. You man will have to tell me. Whoever you man are, you know yourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind. It's painful. That's what and I remember when I did it, the woman was like, "Oh, why don't you get both done?" And I was like, "Now that I've done this one, there's no way in hell
You would
I'm
have to do
doing
them
that."
at the same time.
Yeah. I would have had to know that going into it, and I very nearly did, but I was like, I don't need both.
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Yeah.
And
See,
I
I don't
remember
know.
even at the time, and this is,
God, it's all
I
something
wasn't
long.
even trying to have kids, but I was like, I know that if this comes out,
It's
like,
not going back in.
Yeah. I
it's
have
too
to
long.
know,
I don't know, guys.
So that even pushed the kids further along. So I was like, I'm not doing this again. But it's too close to have the kid next year because I've just done it.
Yeah, now put it back in again. See, this is it. So this was something I did say, but then this was before everyone, man got your thing
but
back.
you've done other things. You've had tattoos. You've got other piercings. It's not.
Yeah, it sounds a bit hectic. I can't lie. I think I've got to find another rediscovery of my boobs. But yeah, it would be something to that effect. And yeah, I don't know. I would have to see how the journey goes. Maybe also just being more in my body. We spoke. Things are so linked, but we spoke about you stretching and being more in your body and movement there. Maybe that is actually a step that also needs to be part of it. Just like stretch my body, moving my body, reconnecting with my body in all different ways, kind of thing. What about you? How do you think you might see
in the next 2 years? At least, I don't know. I think I just want to continue on this journey because there was a period, and I guess linked to like depression, low mood, anxiety. You're just not sexy is the furthest thing from mine. So as I'm coming out of that and trying to come into who is Nykhil in her late 30s and what does she like to do and all of this stuff, sex is actually quite big for me. And I think that's when I knew that I wasn't okay, because for as long as I've been having sex, I've always enjoyed sex. I wanted to have sex. So when I was just like not involved,
it's a marker.
I felt that was probably the marker of like, I feel really bad.
Right.
Like, I'm down bad because
that's my thing.
Yeah, literally. I was like, no, I'm just not. It just didn't even matter who or what
you were doing.
Yeah, I was very, very disconnected and very out of body for a lot of it. I was still having sex, but I've just kind of disassociated, which isn't really a comfortable feeling. So anyway,
that's such a dead feeling. We should actually go on for that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. So in that journey, I've been more vocal. I don't know if it's more vocal, but I think started talking about it again. So I've found new people that I feel comfortable having like those conversations with and doing it, and then as in having the conversations, watching things, listening to things, reading things. Like it's all, it doesn't have to be a big thing.
When you say watching things, reading things about
sex or just sexual relationships, talking to people. I don't want to like put anyone's name out there, but like just being able to have open conversations about what people are into and what they're doing. And some of it, like, I still feel very vanilla. I guess I'm not in what I'm able to talk to people about.
Right.
But then when you really be listening to people that you're like, damn, like what I don't, again, I feel like I'm going off on a tangent, but what I have realized is that for me, there's a lot of sensuality in my sexualness. Like it's all about the feeling and the moment. And I think I've spoken before about elevating the experience. So I'm always going to have like some music in the background, and it feels like very 15 of me. Like when we were 15, it's how what was 16 to like have a playlist or whatever it is.
Makes sense.
But I'm still very much like that. Like, okay, is there a candle? Is there a scent in the room? Is there this, that, and the other? And I would just do that just for me as well. That's where I'm like, no, I'm a very sensual person.
I think that's so
and
good.
I enjoy looking at myself.
Good.
And I think I always have. I'm not always like body confident. I don't always like the way I look. I do more than not. But yeah, this just I'm coming back into that part of Nykhil, and you know that for the longest while, me and underwear were like this.
Yeah.
I'd always be buying something. I stopped buying. I started trying to bring things in small. So for the next 2 years, to get to the point of the question, just more of the same. There were like other things that I want to try and experiment with. Maybe I'll say them in a later episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just really seeking out the people that match that energy and not. I think the only way that I'm going to be able to call it to me is if I actually am able to kind of say it and live it and breathe it. Whereas before it would always be like this kind of fantasy, like, oh, I would love for this thing to happen. And then how is it going to happen if you don't actually
Initiate.
say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think more experiences are coming to me and it's quite enjoyable. I'm also like, I don't know if it's just what society tells us, but because I am now in my late 30s and 40 is close approaching, and they say that this is the window for women in their sexualness and their libido. So I'm just really excited
To be there for that.
this chapter. Yeah, 100%.
You've kind of spoke about it, but maybe you might want to dig a little bit deeper. But my question was, when you have felt unsexy, are there some like things you can point to that you've done to try to get your sexy back, as it were? Tips and tricks.
Like quick wins. I don't know if I have like a foolproof thing, but as I said before, I think I will just look at myself in the mirror.
Okay.
And I will try to look at myself long enough that I'm happy with what I see. Because I might just focus like, I don't know, one day it just might be my stomach. I'll be like, oh my God, that ain't it.
Right.
But rather than leave the mirror with that being the fault, it's like, okay, what do I like? And it could be something small like, oh, okay, my lips look good today. It doesn't have to be that I've addressed the belly. It's
Right.
just let me leave the mirror feeling good about something on my body.
A
I think
positive
it's
thought.
I think it's really important to like reframe it because like our bodies do a lot. Even when I was stretching, it was like, oh, damn, that this is really the one vessel that we have to look after, and it can do so much or it can do very little depending on how you treat it. But I would say like speaking positively about myself, and it might be putting something on, like just being like, you know, I love baths. It might just be when I have the time, it could be having a bath and then making that like a really sensual experience. So there'll be like bath salts and candles and scents and stuff like that. But that's not always the time that we have. So the mirror is an easy one. And sometimes I just have to like twerk it off.
Yeah. I don't do that enough.
Just
I don't do
shake
that
my ass
enough.
in the mirror and be like,
Yeah, I just gotta
okay,
shake
well,
the
my
ass,
bum looks
pretend you're
good.
on a yacht.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there might be other things, but those are the things that come to mind, or at least based on this morning, just being like, okay, do you know what? This is a body. I like this body. Other people have shown me that they like this body as well. And it doesn't have to be about other people validating, but it's a body that works, isn't it?
I wonder on that though, like the validation.
Yeah.
I wonder like how much of our sexual selves does lie in not necessarily the validation, but the experiences of others. Like how much is our sexuality just about our sexuality in just us, and how much of it is it about in relation to another body?
Yeah, which reminds me actually when and I guess to add on to my answer before about what does the next 2 years look like, it is a lot of it before. So definitely when I was younger, it was about the
The
other
other body, yeah.
person. And then I'm really trying to be like, I don't even care about the other person. Like I want so many more experiences that are just about me and how I feel. Um sorry, I've lost my chain of thought. But yeah, I would say that for the younger me, it was very how are other people see me, or
Definitely.
what do other people think looks sexy, or how should I perform this thing?
Exactly. Yeah, the performance of everything.
Yeah.
I watch from time to time, not as much, but I do watch a bit of or have watched a bit of Shan Boody. Shamboodi's sex podcast. Can I
Yeah.
say that? And yeah, I mean, I should probably actually in the next years, because I'm sure she has some really good tips. She's also had 2 kids, and just I'm sure she's lost her sexy. Maybe to see some ways that she's also done that for herself and see what
Yeah.
might ring true to me or what might resonate, kind of thing. Yeah, I really want to look more into the idea of being sexy for myself and then letting that appear in the world, however that may appear in the world, um, in relation to another body or another person or not, kind of thing.
And why do you think it might not just be you, but I'm trying to you've just reminded me of like another conversation that we had where we were talking about how we express ourselves and like what our style says about us.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you feel like you're able to express sounds like your personality but not so much your
Exactly. I don't
sexuality?
know. I think that's something I
And
need to
or
think.
do you feel that the two are
I
connected
think
or
they're
not?
connected. I think that even with the dressing though, I feel like I'm not quite doing that as much in my personality as much as I could. I think everything
Okay,
is
okay.
just not hitting in the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
that I
yeah.
could. It's not like to say, oh God, this girl's just not hitting. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
don't think I'm gonna be like, wow, nah, what you on, kind of thing. But yeah, exactly. But for me, I don't feel like either of them are as aligned. Like, it's a
Okay,
journey. I
okay.
don't know if it's gonna be like, bam, I've hit it. It's just all
Yeah, that
totally
makes
locked and
sense.
loaded. But they're just not quite where they could be. It doesn't mean I'm a million miles away,
Mhm.
but there's definitely more work to do in terms of aligning both expressing myself, my personality in how I dress, how I present, and my sexuality in how I present, dress, or just feel, kind of
Mhm.
thing. Um, so yeah, actually, it's quite good. I feel quite excited to know that is another thing. There's more. You think about, oh, what's the work to do? What's the work to do? There's so much work that we can do, and it's nice to know that that's a thing I can do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like, oh, I'm not really reflecting enough of things, but yeah, that's a big. You spend a lot of time in your body, like you
Mhm.
said, it's the one that we have.
So we've actually I had quite a few different questions and we've touched on most of them in one way or another.
Sure.
Um I'll actually throw two out there and you can decide which one you want to
Okay.
answer. So the first one is, has friendship ever played a role in helping you feel more comfortable with your sexuality?
Okay.
That's one option. Or the other one is, if you could give your younger self a piece of advice about sex and sexuality, what would it be?
Okay. I have to think about the first one more, I think.
Mm,
For the second one, what advice would I give my younger self as it relates to sex and sexuality? Yeah.
yeah,
Um, don't be afraid to lean into different experiences. Um,
that's a really good one.
yeah, don't be afraid to lean in or ashamed. Um, and don't see sex as something that needs to be like, feel free to talk about it. Feel free to be open about it.
Do you feel like you weren't? I feel like you're one of the few friends that I could speak to, at least from like teenager
Yeah,
to mid 20s.
I feel agreed, but I feel
Yeah.
like I could speak to more people about it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, so it's not that I feel like not like something I can wear. I don't know. We grew up in a way where you don't really talk about sex like that, like
Yeah.
in our
I
family.
remember, so it's just that it's
Yeah, no,
coming
go
to my
on.
head. But I remember one of my friends, we were on holiday and she was like, oh, something, something about sex. I was like, no, I like to talk about sex. She's like, you don't like to talk about sex. I was like, I don't like to talk about sex with you because you're
Bingo.
very uncomfortable. And she's like, oh, no, I
Exactly.
don't. She literally, like, I was like, your
Shook.
body has literally reacted in this moment to the mention of sex.
Yeah.
Don't project on me that I don't like to talk about it. I was like, I do talk about sex
Yeah, yeah,
quite
yeah.
openly with people who are comfortable talking about
That's it.
sex. But when you're going to do judgment or like be
Uh-huh.
quivering, what's the point?
That's why I
We don't
think
need to force
so
it.
that's why I think it's been easy to talk about sex with you, because I think we've been on that maybe same
Yeah.
position. But to be able the work would be to be able to talk about it with people that maybe they're not averse to it as such, but
Yeah.
aren't necessarily as open, because then it makes me I don't have to hold back. I don't know. There's something there. I'm trying to find the grasp of it. Not to make
Yeah.
someone uncomfortable. No, not in that sense.
There's a balance or something in, there's a lot because it's so connected, I guess, to who we are as people, or can be so connected that you feel like you're withholding.
Omitting. I was just about to say that. I feel like, oh, now it feels like I'm omitting this information.
Yeah. But
Not
then
necessarily
also
going
people...
down. Yeah, also not everyone needs to know your business. And you know me, guys. But but in some senses, it does feel like there's an omission. Where I feel like I could be more open in that sense. It's not like, oh, hi guys, how are you? By the way, I just had this whatever the other day. That's also not how conversations go. But there are moments for sure where one could share something in a setting where it could make sense. I can't pick up something now, but there's definitely been moments I know there's been moments where I feel like, oh, I could have said X, Y, Z at this point, but I didn't. And in a comfortable setting as well, not necessarily where I think someone's going to judge. I can't tell you, oh, on this day, whatever. You know, it could be your man or your gal, and you don't want to be giving away too much information about what they're on as well, kind of thing. So there's always a little bit of a techie situation whereby your partner, you don't want to be giving too much to your friends. Now your friends are looking at your man or your gal and they're like, oh, so do you know what I mean? So I think actually
to touch
that's
on
quite
that
a bit.
though, I think that's why I stopped talking about sex with people, with certain people, because it's like, well, why would I tell you all of the sex that I'm having because I'm your token single friend? And not that I want to know what you and your man are doing.
Yeah.
But you ain't sharing
me about
any
what your man's doing.
tea, sis. So I'm just going to sit here and tell you about, oh, this day, that
That's
date,
right.
this happened,
That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
And I'm not getting anything back.
Yeah. So I think there's something to think about, because it's like, how much can you share about sex with someone that everybody knows and sees all the time? Oh yeah, and then you know what I mean, or whatever, or like, no, it was da-da-da-da, and then now you're all sitting at dinner,
and especially like after a certain amount of years, it's like, oh, me and this one dude, it's like, girl,
exactly,
you've been with this guy for 15 years,
for 20 years, so we also be talking about like, what's the new sexual experiences you can even bring to the table if you're in a relationship whereby it's you and that one person, you're not having other experiences. So yeah, or if you're having other experiences and you're not supposed to, you haven't agreed that with your partner, how are you talking about that? You understand? So I think these are probably, and to be fair, like, I have been in some long-term relationships. So I'm sure that now I'm saying that, I'm sure that has come into it in certain circles, like, of what I would talk about, kind of thing, because I've been in long-term relationships, not across the board, but it's just like, you don't want to put your partner too much out there, kind of thing, you know?
No, 100%.
Yeah, so that's jokes.
Well,
on that note,
is there like an adventure or something that you'd want to do? Doesn't have to be related to this topic, it can be, but for the coming weeks.
Yes. I may or may not go to Poland at the end of this week.
You still haven't decided?
I haven't decided. I think I'm taking it to the wire at this point.
Living on the edge.
Living on the edge, that's the adventure. There you go. Basically, it's literally that. It's like, okay, yeah, how's it gonna be? That's the edgy, you know, I like a little bit of chaos. That's the chaos I've decided to inject into my life this week.
So the adventure could be Poland.
It could be, or the adventure of going through the motions of will she, won't she? That's the adventure.
Do I have an adventure this week or something that I want to do? No.
Fairs.
I feel really, really basic.
It's fair.
But I don't. I just want to keep living. Maybe I should explore more my sexuality and what it means, and like pinpoint the things that I want to do in the next 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I'll put that list together.
Start testing them out.
Yeah, it's Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Test out your sexy things.
Be sexy. Work yourselves.
Bye.